I muted the song. I didn't mean to, but it just happened toward the end. I think you know how the song goes at this point, so I was a little disappointed in myself, but I've gotten over it. I've also learned to forgive myself because that is really what we need to do at the end of 2020. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about our excitement for tonight's Submission Underground 19. Yeah, it feels like they've done 20 of these since April, and we have covered every single one of them. That is right. We have been here through thick and thin. We are talking good cards and bad, and even the ones where we knew somebody and we said, that one, is okay. Yes, we have a monster of a card here. We welcome you, and here's the way this works. If you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will give you a toast, just like we do those individuals that get finishes within regulations. So yes, the sweet sounds of one Chael Sonnen can only mean one thing, which is that he's stalling. And I don't want to stall anymore, but I will tell you this. Look at this. We got fucking merch now. Yeah, there is an official Grappling Hour t-shirt, and I must say, it looks pretty good. All things considered, good lighting, good everything. So we do a fight companion for tonight, but before we do, we give thanks to our sponsors. That is starting with our good friends over at NoGiBJJGear.com. Use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15 to save, what's that? 15% off of whatever you put in your carts. Plus, give thanks and praise to our good friends over at Dodgy Collective. They are amazing. Check out their rash guards, their spats, their everything, their shorts, amazing apparel. And of course, if you got to trim the areas, and you know which areas I'm talking about, go to manscaped.com, use the code VerbalTap to take 20% off of that. Our guests today are going to be awesome, but let's start first and foremost with someone who is near and dear to us. He has been somebody who chimes in the comment section. You know him, you love him. You get excited when you see him. And I get excited whenever I get to chat with our good friend, G-Baby, how are you doing, sir, as I unmute you now? How are you, sir?
I'm happy to be back, man. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I didn't want to just make this you and me affair. I also am bringing back another 10th Planet family member and somebody who I think is a badass practitioner in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Alan Sanchez. Alan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. It's a pleasure to have you back this way. I'm going to actually pan out and zoom all of us to be in our appropriate levels of what people can go ahead and expect to see us from here. Now, G-Baby, do you know Alan? Have you guys met before?
No, we're just in the 10th Planet family, so we're like distant cousins. So hi, cousin.
What's up, man? How you doing?
All good in yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to watch Denny right now.
Yes, Denny is going to lead us off on this one. It's Stoner versus Prokopos, and they are already in the cage. What can you tell us about the preparation that has been going on for Denny? Has he been training strong? How long has he been going on for in terms of prepping for this particular match, sir?
He's been training really hard for the last few months. Been training every day. I think he's been coming to CTA 3 times a week, and I think he's been going to El Nino also, so he's getting a lot of really good rounds with Jake Shields and Mason and a bunch of killers,
And G-Baby, how are we starting off this match right now? Go ahead and give us a little bit of narration if you wouldn't mind.
So they're on their collar ties. Actually, I was about to chime in on Denny Prokopis. It's really nice to see him back competing.
Yep.
They're feeling each other out.
Now, as we've seen, it's been a while since we have seen Denny. You've been training with him nonstop, so that's got to be a great feeling. I'm so happy to see him back in a cage. Don Stoner is also a northern western individual who's been competing. He's been coming in on a lot of these cards to go ahead and replace. David Garmo was, of course, supposed to be the person that they had originally matched up Denny with, so it's a completely different style that you have to prep for when you're going for somebody.
Yeah.
And I have to say this, man. I knew that Denny was looking for a good opportunity to come back here. And I think that the odds-on favorite, no disrespect to our friend, Don, but I think the money would favor Denny Prokopos in this format, in this style, and that. Would you agree to that, Alan?
For sure. Denny's an EBI champion, so he's no stranger to this rule set. And he's lethal, man. If he gets on your back or he gets you in his close guard, he's super dangerous to anybody,
Absolutely, man. That's the best part about watching these events is that sometimes you'll forget, oh, right, This is how I used to see them compete all the time.
Was he the first EBI
Right
champion?
The EBI 2. He won
EBI 2?
the first time they did 155ers.
You should also know that there was a particular moment when, nice rubber guard here by Denny. This could be very bad for Don Stoner if he's not respecting it. He already looks like he is trying to frantically get out of it. Ooh.
I'll tell you right now, Denny's got one of the tightest. I think it's the tightest rubber guard I've ever felt in my life.
That is high praise. Wow. That is
the way he uses his forearm to dig into that collarbone is, I don't know, the way he does it is just unique to him. I'm sure anyone could do it if they put the time in, maybe, but he's just so.
No, I can't. Listen, dude, my knees are so shot at this point. Anytime they tell me it's not a flexibility thing, I go, y'all are just trying to let me believe something that is never going to be true. Like, it's like your friends that tell you, like, no, Santa's still real. Can't believe he believes that still.
Yeah, sure. With hard work and determination, you can do this.
Of course, but again, and you were mentioning this, though, in terms of one of the tightest that you've ever seen. Don, though, has not really been able to budge from this. If anything, he has inched Denny closer to the cage to use that as a little bit of a prop, maybe to release it, and Denny wisely chooses to pull it down a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to stack his neck up against that cage, and that's definitely not fun when that happens.
We have a comment here from N. Harris that says, "God damn, that G-Baby guy is handsome." Look at that. You know, I have to say this. So in the past, I've reached out to Nate Harris, and I don't know that he knew exactly what I was reaching out to him for. But when I put up a poll result and he said he would be watching one of these live, I was like, oh, cool, so you're watching. And he goes, oh, no, I meant to vote no. I accidentally did that. And I was about to say, Nate, I would welcome you on the show, but you can't be a dick about it. You have to at least participate and watch it. That's all really I'm looking for here. So, Nate, if you want to come on, we'd love to have you as well. But just know that's what I tried to do several events ago, and you basically screwed yourself out of an opportunity to get this kind of comment that I'm sure G-Baby would have said about you. Anyway, moving on. Speaking about unopportune times, there is one moment where I explained to Denny from my personality, from my perspective, where I said, yo, that was one of the longest nights, that EBI number 2, because they did 2 tournaments with 16-man brackets, and it went till 2 or 3 a.m. And I remember Denny saying, you mean the greatest night of my life? And I go, yeah, okay. Yes, true. But also, fuck, dude, I'm so sorry. But you have to understand, from my perspective, the fact that there was an audience that depleted because, oh no, guess what? There's so many people that have left. I feel for the athletes. So my heart goes out to him where he has this amazing epic moment, and then everybody just goes, yeah, I gotta go. Bye, everybody. I can't stay past midnight for this thing. You can fuck off.
That's how it is sometimes. It goes so late.
Absolutely. Whose phone is that, by the way?
I think that was my doorbell.
Do you need to go get something?
No, I'm good. That's someone else is gonna get that.
Are you not gonna eat?
It's aggressive though. It is
aggressive. And oh no, it says I slept 9 hours the entire weekend of EBI 2. Yeah, that's not great. So just to let people know, Nate, the offer stands. If you want to come on, just let me know. I don't know that you're committed, but Don Stoner already having an issue trying to maintain Denny Prokopos. He falls almost right back into a good setting, though. Denny's still working to try and get out of it. He's not really 2-on-1ing it, and I don't know if that is just because of the positioning or just because he doesn't respect Don's approach here. He would by some means be out. He just needs to go ahead and turn very quickly.
Yeah.
Interesting to note here.
Yeah, it looked like Stoner had 2 underhooks. That's probably why Denny didn't really mind just using his hands on the legs.
Interesting. Well, all right. So that does end that first period, which is very interesting to see. All right.
Spiderweb.
I mean, dude, I don't blame him. At this point, you got to hit him with the unexpected. I'm pretty sure they've been doing a lot of back control. That spiderweb is definitely something that is going to disorient people who maybe, just maybe, don't train all that much.
He
Alan,
got
tell
him.
us what you're seeing.
He got him. He just right off the bat
Damn.
kept it tight, popped the elbow.
Woo!
Boom.
Wow. Well done there, Denny. And I like that Denny knew the right camera to go to, but they still switched it on him. So he was going to the right camera, and then they go, no, fuck it. Go to the other camera. Well, very much appreciating that. Look at that.
Denny's intense. Yeah. Let's go.
Can you tell us any of what you thought he might have said there, Alan? Because I definitely got zero of it. And he's still in the cage, and normally this is when you get swept out. So I think it's kind of hard when they are pogoing up and down to really tell them, hey, you need to get out.
Yeah. It looked like he was shouting out his team, CTA, and the Denny Procopoulos Academy.
Denny, God bless you, sir.
I've always wanted to be that hyped in my life. One day. One day.
Well, hello, King Taylor 362 NDA account.
Right.
It is a pleasure to have you join us. Hi to you too.
Is that a SoundCloud rapper?
I just love whenever we get randoms that join us on these things because I go, I don't really know who you are, and if you're a bot, at least be a friendly bot and we'll be friendly to you. You know what's so funny is to get the bounce back of Chael talking, that it feels like Chael is invading all of these rooms all at one time.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a great start to the day. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what we have to expect coming up within a very few short moments. But yes, Submission Underground put out who their order was going to be, and it looks like we had Don Stoner and Denny starting us off. Next is coming up is Paul Kaufman and Charlie Gilpin. And Charlie has also been on many of these events before, so I'm very excited to see him back. He's a very nice young man as well.
Yeah, and Paul Kaufman, he stopped by our gym one time after a Naga. I think he's one of Andrew Alexander's guys, so I'm excited to see that match.
Oh, boo. Never mind. Don't need that. Boo. Let me tell you this about Andrew Alexander is that I saw him forget when he was at the Submission Only series that he wasn't an interviewer and he became a makeshift interviewer. So he was just sitting there and he just starts interviewing the winner, Luis Quinones. And I go, don't do my job. That's my job. Get the fuck out of here, Andrew Alexander. Nobody needs that in their life. It says right here, hold on. It says, King Taylor, bruh, why does everyone think I'm a bot? Well, that's something a bot would say, if we're being honest. Also, this looks like the moment when you input that as the screen name that you want it to be, they go, are you from Russia? What are your intentions here in the United States? So that's usually the frame of reference that people go through. G-Baby, what has been new in your world? Have you been able to train at all? What's going on with you, sir?
I've been training in some garages, but I think 2021 I'll be back on the mats competing for sure. I'm going to go down to 127.
Woo! My God,
Yeah.
young man.
And I was 185 2 years ago, man. So I'm really good. Like, I'm really excited. Got that new blue belt, so I'm ready to compete now.
And absolutely, he's one of Nate Harris's as well. We should also point that out. But I should also remind you, he is on what we affectionately refer to as the Christian Bale diet, where all of a sudden you see Christian Bale in one movie and you go, is he dirt skinny in this one? Is that okay? But G-Baby has looked healthy. You know, I have to say this about you, man. You put up one of these very nice posts, which was that you talked about what a shit year it was. You didn't pretend it wasn't, but you did say all the things that you accomplished and you were proud of. And I think that's a pretty healthy thing to do because I think it's so easy to say what a shit year 2020 has been. So I'm glad that you were able to find some positives out of this year, sir.
For sure, man. It's one of those years that you got to find the light at the end of the tunnel and just keep on going and just hustle, man.
That's awesome, dude. Well, we go to our next match. This is Kaufman. This is Gilpin. Very excited for this match. I have to say, I am usually biased to those that I interview, so I think that I have to go for Charlie on this one, unfortunately. I don't know if either of you have any dogs in this fight, but feel free to take them if you got them.
I got to go with Kaufman just because of that 10th planet camaraderie.
Same.
I have
But-
to tell you
But
guys,
Gilpin's a beast.
I'm very
Gilpin's a
glad
beast.
that all of our endorsements of these people are the most vain reasons. They like my association. They came on my show.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, I see
Well,
the
he's
10th
been to
planet
my-
rash guard.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Well,
been to
it's-
my gym too, so I've met him. Oh,
Oof.
got him.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting right there, man. He's holding on to it. And that transition is, man, right in between just getting on over to his knees. In that, what I would still assume most people might be able to get out of. I think that was a really painful, almost neck crank sort of situation there. Is that what you were seeing?
Yeah, that chin strap, it'll like dig into your Adam's apple, and it just sucks.
You always think to yourself, like, man, if I could just get to the back and, give up this sweep or concede this, but sometimes you don't always have that time. So, and a truly unfortunate thing. However, we do have to give a toast here. So, I guess since it was my guy, I should probably be the one doing the toast, right? Is that how this should work?
I agree.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
This toast goes on out to our pal, Charlie Gilpin. These other two yahoos didn't believe in you, but I did. And I believed in you because you came on my show. And some people might call that vain, but I call it maybe somewhat vain, but also giving respect and love to our friends who appear on the show. So cheers to you, my good friend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I like him. Well, we now get into the deeper waters. Phil Schwartz, Alex Larmy. And what do you guys know about Alex Larmy?
All I know about him is he went against Andy Varela at Fight to Win, and Andy won by decision. So
Interesting. Okay. That's
all I know.
more than I know. So I'll give you that. And I'm supposed to be the host here and know every single one of these people. But unfortunately, I cannot. So I like to consider these learning opportunities to get to know new people sometimes. So, all right, if that's the case, we know about Alex. And I will ask this on over to you, G-Baby. What can you tell me about Phil Schwartz?
He's hilarious, man, but he has really great leg locks. I'm really excited to see him compete. This is actually my first day having UFC Fight Pass, so I'm really excited to watch Submission Underground. Finally.
Wait! Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah, I can finally afford more stuff, man.
Did you use Uncle Chael's promo code?
Nah.
No!
No,
Don't
dude.
give them your full money.
You gotta go big or go home, dude.
God damn it. Okay, well, guys, we
The
got a real
economy's
big...
struggling.
Speaking of the comment, look at this, guys. Good news. Want to become famous? Buy followers in apparently Swedish. Primes and viewers, click you, big follows. So,
How
good
many
news,
followers
King.
does he-
I don't think they have enough followers, if we're being honest. But King Taylor, good news. You're not the most ridiculous bot on the show. So, you've now been usurped.
Those are the type of profiles that will send you a check and saying, "No, please, can you deposit this check? It's for a job."
I think the harder part about this is I see something like that and I go, much like you do, you go, you don't have any followers. Why are you messaging me? I have a fan base. You have nothing. What are you bringing to the table here?
That's true. They have like 253
Yeah.
followers.
They're always like, yo, want to get new followers? And I was like, do you?
You can get on the show if you like.
I'm like, yo, I could probably put up a post and get you 5 followers at least. And that's at least 20% of your fan base. So don't come at me with your bullshit. Join us for some Submission Underground watching. All right. It looks like we're about to transition. I got to tell you, man, much in the same vein way we went the other way, I have to go for Phil. Phil's been a friend of ours for a long period of time. I find it very hard to go against him.
Yeah. Same.
And I feel like it's kind of
for Phil.
I feel like it's hard because this is a true I don't want to say a 10th planet friendly panel, but obviously the two of you and me as a John Jock, which is a distant cousin. So, it is what it is, everybody.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how I'm going to root differently.
It's like a Latino cookout with all our distant cousins that we're just meeting for the first time.
It is funny because when I do go visit headquarters and they don't know me, and I don't assume they do always have to know who I am, but when I show up to 10th Planet headquarters, they go, excuse me, are you 10th Planet headquarters? And I kind of look at them, and somebody would always come in and go, he's, you know what? Just let him in. Like, just feel bad for Raph. Don't ask. And they'll, like, eventually get to it. They'll be like, nobody says I'm cool. Let's be very clear about that. They'll let me come in, but they'll also tell them, like, he's this host dummy, and also, like, Eddie kind of knows who he is, and also, like, he just comes around once every 6 months. So, like, let's beat him up and leg lock the shit out of him, and then we'll send him off happy.
That's hilarious.
I will tell you, though, I want to say one of the last times I went to 10th Planet headquarters, and Eddie saw me, he literally threw all of the black belts at me immediately. And I was like, I'm not one of your guys. Like, this is what you're supposed to do to them, to see how they're doing. I'm a dumb host. And it was just him being like, hey, how about you guys go together? And I look over and I go, yeah, that's another one of his black belts. Fuck off, Eddie. Anyway, Phil Schwartz.
That's awesome, though, getting to roll with a bunch of those black belts.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it's awesome. For me, it's like a death sentence. You know what I mean? It's like, this is their opportunity to get me back for any memes or any dumb joke that I've said. And I feel like that's part of the accountability I try to have as a host is I go, yeah, if I'm going to do jokes, I'm going to run into these people at some point. So I do offer to train with people. It's not the problem. It's just the reality of going, is this the sixth one in a row? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And they're always magically longer rounds. They're always magically like 8-minute rounds, 9-minute rounds. And I go, I thought they were 8. How did it get to 10?
Yeah, one of those, like, it's almost over. And you're like, how much time is left? You look over, there's like 4 minutes. You're like, oh my gosh.
I hate that feeling.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what Phil is trying to set up here. You do see Kaufman maybe, or I'm sorry, not Kaufman, Larmy. Larmy trying to pull back a little bit here. I think he's savvy to the fact that Phil likes to attack the legs.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like Phil's trying to get inside position, or when Larmy's inside, he's kind of messing with like some De La Rivas to try to pummel in. But,
and I have to give some props on over to Larmy on that one. It was one of the few times I've seen somebody jump for a submission, and then Phil very quickly tried to see, hey, maybe I can attack the leg from that. So props to both of those gentlemen for continuously finding attacks here. But I like the fact that Phil plays a very loose kind of a guard. It's not too committed. I mean, it seems like he's very willing to almost entertain reverse De La Riva and really entering into a good series of positions for himself. But Larmy is just trying to keep a very considerable amount of pressure passing here. And thus far, very, very well matched. And we've got 2 minutes left on this one. I must ask you, though, no disrespect to the fighters at hand, what the fuck is in the background on the mats? It looks like a 90s sort of product that you basically tell your friends, I don't know what it is, but I gotta have it, man.
It just looks like a really old comic book store poster.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice sweep by Phil coming up on top right now. And trying to contain, he tried to jump in transition almost to secure the back, does not get it, but is right back on the attack, looking for one of the legs and still trying to disrupt the balance of Larmy.
Oh, Larmy in on his own leg.
That is always a bold statement when you know that somebody wants to try and win by getting that leg and basically tries to throw it in on their own. Do you tend to get people who know that you have a certain specialty and try to beat you with that specialty, Alan?
I mean, I like to think that the moves that I'm really good at, I am also like very competent in defending. So I don't find that too much, but I definitely feel like, you know, if you're competing against someone and they have something they're good at, like say the leg locks, where usually you might want to shy away from it. And it might be smart too tactically, but I think you also have to show them like some counterattacks so they can respect it a little bit and they can think more about attacking you freely.
I mean, I like to think of it like your first day at prison and you go, well, better stab someone or else I'm going to die. So whenever I see somebody like take someone else's big specialty out of the equation, I go, you're attacking the leg locker? Bold choice. Let's see how it works. And then all of a sudden you see him and you go, I always tell people this. I go, listen, you know, my guide role is to basically tell you what I think is structurally smart. But if you are truly challenging yourself and you want to see where you stand as a leg locker, then by all means, just know that's what you've subscribed to. And it might not be a good day at the office, but you might get the intel that is more valuable to you in the long run. So as long as you're okay with that, just don't bitch if it just doesn't happen right.
Yeah.
I feel like psychologically it does the same damage as like if someone got knocked down, got back up, and keeps walking forward. You're just like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. You know?
Yesterday over at Third Coast Grappling, my friend, one John Combs, was going up against another guillotine guy. So it's a guillotine versus a guillotine guy. And I won't say this in particular with John Combs, but somebody definitely had a really good guillotine, and they guillotined that specialist, and he goes, I got guillotine, man, and that's my move. And I go, well, apparently it's not. So it's, I'm just saying. So yesterday for John Combs' match, the fact that he didn't lose via guillotine was kind of one of those things where he goes, it's nice. I didn't lose. I won. But it would have been nice to guillotine the dude because I just want mine to be better. And I go, listen, I get that, dude. It happens. Everybody has a big specialty. Let's go on to what's happening here. On that first ride, I have to give Alex some credit there. Alex was doing an excellent job on the escape. And now that he's got Phil, he's containing him. But Phil spirals out and manages to get out in a quick amount of time, too. That was 19 seconds on ride time. For Alex. So we're going to have to see if he's able to make up the difference on the second top period of time. However, Phil, and they're changing.
Phil's good at that spiderweb too. He knows how to take his sweet time. Yeah, he knows how to just, not be in a rush and just build time with it. But
yeah,
Larmy gets out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the hardest part to tell people is that difference between having that armbar sometimes and having to release and kind of hope for the best, because you can cup that leg forever, man. But there comes a point where if you really feel you've got a kill shot, you kind of have to believe in it and make sure that your timing is right on. But that disconnection for just a few seconds is it's exhilarating for audiences, but I know it's terrifying to just see it not work out when you're banking on it.
Yeah, those 3-second spiderweb escapes, if you're the guy on offense, can be heartbreaking.
Oh, dude. Yeah, especially when you look over and they got 2 minutes of ride time and you get 3 seconds and you go, well,
he's like, damn, it's already gone.
It's gonna be a rough overtime, everybody. Woo! Phil is out again in 21 seconds there. This could come down to something really important. Now, Phil, you got to figure out what you're going to do here, bud. Are you going to take the back or are you going to go to Spider again? And it looks like Phil is opting to try and get some more ride time in here. Alex has proven very adept at moving his way out of this. We'll have to see how it plays out. G-Baby, any takers right now? Do you feel the money is still on Phil?
Hey, I'm still going for Phil, man.
I didn't say who you were going for. I was just saying, do you feel like that's the smart money?
It's so hard with these competitors, man.
All right. Larmy got a couple quick escapes. Oh.
This could be problematic. He's underneath the chin.
This could be it right now.
And Larmy's not 2-on-1ing this. I don't love that as a strategy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody here, just so that we all know, I have tried to advise people on the perfect way you're supposed to escape out of this particular situation. And I understand it's hard to talk as a critic after the fact, but I do think that my form of escape has a viable means that anybody can do. And the reason why I bring it up is because if I can pull up the clip, I think you guys can all better understand what I'm talking about here. But my particular escape for that position is what I like to refer to as the stone cold stunner escape. I don't think that you're going to do a lot of good just trying to fall backwards on the person, because as we saw there, it just seemed to play a little bit better into Phil Schwartz's game. But I need for you to narrate what's happening for us over on your perspective right now, Alan.
No. It looks like he escaped, kind of gave up his back, but the ref just called it. And seems like Phil's gonna win.
Yeah,
probably,
that was a little bit of
let it go a little bit
yeah.
longer. But Graf is notorious for calling a little bit on the earlier
What are you
side.
talking about? That Sugref is he's so on the money and he's very attentive to details. We have seen him do nothing but be perfectly on the money. We know that.
All referees are perfect, dude. We all know that in every sport.
Always.
Let's never forget the fact that after that, I think one of our most popular memes was we put up a rash guard of fuck Craig Jones, and then we just zoomed in on that guy that goes, okay. That notification tended to do pretty well for us, at least from our perspective as a meme. So very proud of how that one worked on out. If you guys give us a few seconds, we'll have a nice payoff, I believe, to what we can now educate the masses on a better way of escaping. So we just need a few moments to go ahead and download that clip. That's going to be coming out in just a few seconds. But in the meantime, G-Baby, how are the podcasts going? What has been the stuff that you've been working on lately? Tell us a little bit while we've got a minute here.
So the Cover Your Mouth podcast is coming back in 2021. I like to call it the second season. We're rebranding the podcast a lot more. It's going to be more solo episodes. I'm going to be bringing on pretty dope guests. Nasty and the Baby's coming back as well. Nate and I are going to bring in some awesome guests. We're going to have some awesome topics. He really wants to cover the Avatar: The Last Airbender, so it's going to happen. And then make sure you catch Unemployed Commentators, weekly sports commentary. We're doing all the sports. We're doing darts. We're doing golf, MMA mostly. We're covering MMA. We're also covering betting odds for college football as well. So make sure to tune in. It's Gary Miller and I. Gary is a comedian from Denver. I'm here in New Mexico, and we want our voices to be heard all around.
When you say you're covering all of the sports, and I believe
all
you,
of the sports,
and I do understand and want to appreciate you doing that. You said darts, and I think I would maybe ask, why darts?
You know, it wasn't my idea. It was my co-host's idea, and I wish I could give you a really good explanation, but to tell you the truth, there's never a good explanation while we're covering darts. There's never.
I mean,
there's not a good one.
Here's the good news. I like that you sold him out so quickly.
Yeah.
As to be like, I do have a good answer for you, Raph, and it's not a good answer. It's actually my co-host's fault. And I never would do that as a reputable podcaster and host. But he couldn't stop talking about it, so we had to do it.
We're going to cover tiddlywinks. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, wow. Well, if that doesn't entice people to watch, I really don't know what more we can do here. But everybody, just so that you know, I'm not just a host. I'm also an educator. I want to show you guys what it is that I think you need to do to get out of a stone cold stunner escape. And Alan, I'm going to look to you for a little bit of critique. You're the resident black belt here. Let me know if this is something
curious.
You would do in a competition. All right, here we go. Back everybody now. Let me go ahead and exit that out. Now, Alan, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best escape you've ever seen from a rear naked choke, where does that rank for you?
Dude, that might be a 12.
That's a Joshua Fabia technique.
Don't you dare put me in the same sentence as Joshua Fabia. That's the worst thing I've ever been called. And you know what? That delegitimizes me as a host just by even being associated. A Google search is going to pick up a transcript of this and is going to say Raph and Joshua Fabia in the same sentence together. Anyway, I'm glad that I was able to share that with you guys. Should that become something we need to use again, we will. But on this match, you've got Bellator's own and AJ Agazarm nemesis, Chris Linconi versus Andy Night Varela. Now, you were talking a little bit about excitement in seeing him compete, G-Baby. Why are you excited to see Andy compete here today?
He was one of the guys that motivated me to join 10 Planet when I was covering World Series of Fighting Submission 1. So it was him, Ruben Rivera, Casey, and Kyle Bame, they were the ones that were like, yeah, join 10 Planet Albuquerque. So it's like these guys motivated me to change my life for like permanently.
Well,
And he's
awesome.
an exciting grappler as well.
It just so happens he's a real savage grappler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who knew? It would be so great if some mediocre grappler came over and told you to do it, and you're like, and that person was AJ Agazarm, and that's why I took up tennis.
Dylan Danis. And that's why I have an Instagram account.
Well, you know what? You'll make more money as an Instagram hoe. I will tell you that much. But you will have more of our respect by doing the sport our way. Andy Varela, of course, a last-minute replacement. Andrew Alexander, the aforementioned nemesis of this show, unfortunately unable to compete, and is a little bit unfortunate in the sense that, man, I thought that would have been a great match. But when they were looking for somebody, I said, man, somebody with the caliber of movement that Andy Night Varela has makes this another compelling matchup. Now, can you tell me a little bit about why you're excited for this one, Alan?
Yeah, very excited just because Andy's such a beast. And last time on Submission Underground, he got a really good win over Nick Ronan. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure he's looking to just keep this train rolling. I think this is like 1 or 2 day notice, something crazy like that.
I think I think somewhere in the 6 days. I know that it was pretty recent. And,
it was one day.
It was Wednesday, right?
1 day notice.
Yeah, he always brings it. And Andy's one of those dudes that he's training year round. He's not, he's ready, even on 1 day notice.
Well, it looks like he might be wearing his Sin City Submission Series rash guard, because you do see. Oh no, that's just the 10th Planet Vegas sign. I know they're very synonymous with each other. Of course, he does teach out of there. I have yet to have the displeasure of rolling with him yet, but I have told him if he could do me a solid and cut down on all the somersaults and flips by about 50%, I will roll with him then, but only on those conditions. Because well, I've told him, I was like, bro, he is kind of like that. I did tell him, I was like, because I think he was mentioning how he'll train with Canuto as well. And all I could think of is, do you guys ever actually get to jiu-jitsu? Like, does jiu-jitsu ever happen in the roles that you guys do? Because just based on your resumes, it doesn't look like it happens.
They just flip around the whole time.
It's literally like the Power Rangers before they call their Megazord out. It's just them doing 15 flips and the evil villain saying, like, how long do I have to fucking wait before we can fight? Like, I gotta let you guys get up that thing. Your Zords, which seem so slow, have to inch their way into the fight because they're animatronic. Anyway, that's too much time on that. There's a minute left in this match, and you have been seeing Andy put it on Chris, who, again, is a very, very good practitioner. He has wins. He's also competed here on the Submission Underground. As we mentioned, he became endeared to us by beating up AJ Agazarm, and I have to say, both of these gentlemen have been interviewed here on this interview series show. So I'm not going to say that we have a favorite, especially considering that we like talking to both of these guys. So good luck to either one of them.
For sure. I actually like the guy just for beating AJ Agazarm, so he already won a fan with me.
It's a very nice way to endear yourself. And that was honestly, I think there was something when I saw that he was in the running to be on this, and I said, oh, that'd be really, really cool. Good for you. Because I did like him for that. But the minute I saw that he beat AJ Agazarm, I go, I'll interview you.
Yeah, for sure, bud.
I had no other reason other than, like, I barely caught the tail end of the fight, and I go, you beat AJ? Sure. Come on the show. And the thing is, AJ apparently likes me. I don't know anymore, but he seems to have very little issue with me, and has come up and been like, in the very weirdest of ways, has come up and shaken my hand and goes, if it isn't my favorite podcast. And I go, you sound like Jack Nicholson in Batman. And I don't know how I feel about that, because you're not that good of a villain. And then he just goes, see, that sharp wit, Raph. So good. Okay. Good to see you, AJ. All right, we're now in overtime, and you are seeing Chris at work first. And I'm looking to see right here. Maybe.
Andy's almost out. He's beating the legs. Just got to beat that seatbelt.
Ooh.
But Lencioni's tight on it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. I mean, he's outside there, and that should be enough. Lencioni could do a nice guard retention if he was able to keep it with that gift wrap, but it does look like he is out. Man, I would have still tried to keep that going, man. That still looks like it's within play right there.
He still had that chest to back connection.
Mm-hmm. Like, that just looks like Chris was being a little too sportsmanlike, and if I'm Andy, I'm definitely going, sure, sounds good to me. Let's go. Next period.
I remember the last... Yeah.
Go ahead, G-Baby.
Should all three of us bleach our hair? Everyone's doing it. No.
Hold on.
Everyone's doing it, Alan.
Hold on,
Everyone's
Alan.
doing it.
Have I not seen you come with different hair colors, though?
Me? No, not me.
You've never done a different hair color?
I definitely I'll grow out the fro and then I'll cut it all off and then I grow it out, but I don't do the different hair colors.
Oh, speaking of, Andy Varela does get the submission, but he definitely did do a kata, which I refer to more in the vein of a Power Ranger summon your sword. But yes, okay, so Dane Donovan is not helping here. I think that Joseph Goodman is probably more along the lines of where we should keep this at. G-Baby, bleach it. Okay. So you make whatever decision you want. Your guy is Bad Bunny. That's what he does. I'm pretty sure I put this out yesterday, and you didn't give me the right answer, which was my head, my dome, is not equipped for bleached hair. It is too large. It is too awkward. And I don't feel like, as a host, I would have the little credibility that I have to continue if I have bleach blonde hair.
I think you look beautiful, Raph.
I appreciate you saying that yesterday as well, but I'm going to tell you again right now. I think this is as good as it gets. This is what it is. I had people though who were trying to tell me like shave this, and I was like, no. Also, wife might divorce me if this happens. Like, she's the one that busts my chops on this so much, and I go, yeah, here you go. And here's the note. Dane Donovan says, dark beard with the blonde hair, sexy Rican. Which, by the way, is also the name of many different porns that you can find on Pornhub. Or maybe it might have been deleted at this point because Pornhub got rid of a whole bunch of porn. So this is the nice finish that they're going over here. And yes, Night Night Varela lives up to the name by putting Chris Lencioni into Night Night status. And it says, Raph has a perfect hairline.
He does.
I would tell you this. I think the funnier moment to me, and that's an interesting submission finish there by Andy Varela too. It did look like because Chris wasn't 2-on-1ing it, he might have been able to hand fight a little bit more there, because it was just like that in between. There wasn't anything behind. It was almost like trying to do that back version of an Ezekiel. So good for him, man. That's a powerful finish if you're able to pull that off. But yes, I would tell you this. My hairline is good. I do believe that is an accurate statement. I don't know that I have perfect Anchorman hair, and that was originally the intention, is I was thinking I should be a broadcaster out of like high school into college. And I went to my college and I go, where's your broadcasting department? And they go, well, it's in that hallway. And I go, I'm not doing that. Thanks, though. So anyway, I think this is a good time to go ahead and say a few things. Hey, look, I've got merch now. That's right, motherfuckers. If you want to be like this, I'm going to put a link in the chat. You guys should go buy this shit because it basically supports... I was saying it supports the show, and then I realized a really sad fact, but I'm going to say it, and I think it's true, but also that's how real I am with you guys. I think it mostly just pays for my drinking habit, if I'm being honest. So I guess what I'm telling you is pay for my alcoholism, which essentially is this show.
That's why most people work real jobs, too.
I understand your sentiment there. But I also realize when I go, hey, you should pay for it. And then I realize, like, what is this going to pay for? I go, it'll probably pay for the shirts after 2 or 3 of these. So that's pretty good. And then all of a sudden I thought about it. I go, oh, right, the beer. Those bills probably come up pretty fast. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I will take your money and your support because these are fun and nice shirts. So I'd appreciate the support. It's not like I don't have enough branding here, though. It's like I realize the one fault of this is like it says Grappling Hour everywhere, and it's just me with a shirt, and I go, might be overloading, but that's what we're going to do. All right, very excited for this match. Spencer, Lowen, Alan, tell us why this is going to be a good match, sir.
Well, Amanda Lowen's been killing it on Submission Underground on pretty much any event she's competing in. She's shown she's really good at these EBI rules, and Spencer is, she fought for the title, right, against Amanda Nunes, so she's high level in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, in theory, Amanda should have the edge because she's more used to this kind of rule set. But Felicia Spencer's known for her ground game in MMA.
Not only that, but you mentioned just how Lowen's been on this monster-like run, dude. It has been really fun to watch how she's barreled through a number of opponents, and she always looks like she has a great attitude. I have yet to really meet and get to know her, but her vibe and her essence that she competes with makes me a big fan.
Yeah, she's working on a Kimura here too. Looks like she's almost
just
got
the
it
vibe
up.
of 10th Line of Portland, though. They're just such a great team. Like, as human as well, human beings. Very welcoming.
Yeah.
So
Amanda, I think, has been a black belt for a while too, and like recently went to 10th Planet Portland, right? So she's been like competing at a high level at black belt for a good amount of time now.
That's so sick.
So just as a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. We have a few people to go ahead and give toast to, and I'm just going to let you know those are coming up soon. We're talking Adam Woods, Dane Donovan has given us a share. We will get to you guys in a few minutes. But before we get to that, we have to finish doing the commentary for this match. At this point, though, I have to say, I can't tell if Spencer is just really aware of Amanda's game or if she is making good adjustments.
Looks like she's trying to pass, but Amanda's just crafty. It seems like they're both trying to go forward.
Yeah, and looking at that though, I want to give credit to the beautiful way that Amanda is trying to work from here. But look at these butterfly hooks. These butterfly hooks are so well placed that they create a good amount of extension, and man, the closed guard already happens, and her closed guard actually terrifies me. There aren't a lot of people who have great closed guards in my opinion, but she's so active from it that makes me go, man, respect to her for that.
Yeah.
So here is just a little nugget of information, or I guess some kind of thing that I saw while we have a down moment, because we're going to wait to see how these passing opportunities play on out. Close guard again, underhook here. As we've seen from some of the matches that include Lowen, sometimes we can be in that position for a minute. But I do want to point this out to you, and I have yet to meme this, but I will open this up to the crowd. If y'all have a meme for this one, please feel free to throw it my way, because I just know there's something that's good here.
Oh, man.
So we'll get to that one a little bit later. Joseph Goodman chimes in and says, the one that just won CJJ today had a fantastic guard. Yes, the one that just won CJJ today. That's
St. Marie.
Yes, that is correct. I do like the idea of being like, that one. Her.
The other one.
You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it happened like almost 2
that
hours
one
ago.
thing.
Yeah, did that happen about an hour ago? Yeah, maybe. Okay, but listen, I've been drinking.
Oh,
nice tap in transition there. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Wow. That was impressive. Alan, I'm going to have to give that toast to you. That's a cheers that belongs to you, sir.
Well, that was cheers to both girls because they both went out there and were going forward the whole time. You can always appreciate where, they're both actively trying to get the submission. And, Amanda's just keeping going on this hot streak. And I think she's she's the first ever Submission Underground women's champion. So toast to her.
Cheers. That's awesome.
Cheers.
Eric came in and asked, "Did Phil win?"
Yes.
So yes, you get a yes, queen. And it says right here, this is from Joseph Goodman, not helping his case by going, I remember it was Saint something. Oh fuck, it's gonna bug me. Now I would tell you this. First of all, it's an awesome belt. Second of all, the other thing I want to go ahead and point out here is I don't ever just watch the series or the movie Selena. It's Saint Selena's. So when I see somebody just put something that's like, it's a saint in it, it's like, are you talking about Saint Selena's? The Netflix series, which should run for 23 seasons because we need to learn every other day what her life was like? Absolutely.
That's so funny.
I kid you not. There was one episode on that Netflix series where they go, how was Como La Flor created as a song? And I go, is that what the episodes are going to be about? Like, she didn't live a long life. So unless we get an episode dedicated to Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb, I'm going to protest.
It's funny because my girlfriend auditioned for that role.
Oh, did she? That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just like, man, that could have been us.
Wow. That's, first of all, a rude thing to tell a girlfriend. I'm being like, way to not pull your weight and be Selena.
No, it's like those auditions, though. They already pick their person, and then they just
hold on.
auditions.
What ethnicity is your girlfriend?
She's Mexican.
I'm just... hey, listen. They put a Puerto Rican in the movie. Don't look at me like I'm wrong. There was a big to-do about Jennifer Lopez many years ago playing a prominent Mexican. And even then, it was... no one portrays Saint Selena's like that.
On behalf of all Puerto Ricans, it was an honor, though.
It better have been a goddamn honor. If she had fucked up that role, I think she would have forever been tainted as an actress. But the fact that she got that one right, we let her get away with so much. We're like, the wedding planner? Sure. Okay. The cell? Yeah, whatever. Just, you played Selena's. That's all we care about.
If there was a Mexican actor that played as Bad Bunny, I would ship it.
That's fair. I understand that. Especially if somebody like a Korean American is playing Bad Bunny. And they just go, he's the best guy. Clearly, look at this Korean guy. It says perfect. Like, yeah, he was in BTS for a little while, but, you know, he's got a mask on. He looks like Bad Bunny.
Ching Soy, do your best Bad Bunny impression. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
I don't know. I might have been sold on it. I was actually skeptical until I heard that myself. Dane Donovan. Okay, so here's what you got to know. Dane, I'm doing a thing. Thank you for ordering a shirt. Much appreciated to you, sir. When you send me a photo of you wearing the shirt, I will do a toast that I will put on the Grappling Hour social media just for you. So for the first few people who do this, I am going to do the specific cheers and toast for y'all because I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting the show. Cannot appreciate you guys more than I do, but I just did. Wham. All right, what do we got coming up next? I got to tell you, man, one of my big excitements about this is we actually have grapplers who also happen to do MMA. And I know this is the thing they were selling us on at the very beginning of this thing, but we've seen fewer and fewer MMA people involved in this particular event. And tonight, it feels like we've got some class having people like Dos Anjos and Cerrone in on this activity. And seeing even Kevin Casey, who is a hard person to match up, going up against Gabriel Checo, who is kind of, as I described earlier today to one of my friends, an insane grappler.
Yeah.
I think it is a very interesting match. I mean, look at him, dude. If you put a mohawk like that, are you going to say like, oh, the very boring and very traditional grappler here? No, you go, it's either Zangief or he's nuts.
That's it. It says Zangief on his rash guard, too.
That's his jiu-jitsu school, yeah.
And I mean, listen, dude, you get a moniker, you run with it. Never forget, Kevin K.O. Casey is also a rapper, and that was something that followed him for a while. So you just got to find your Brent. Did you not know that?
I had no idea.
Oh my God. Please go listen and like just type it into Google and see what you find. Because that was one thing he was talking about that like helped him. I think it was King Casey at that time. And I think that was what helped him. He's also famously in the G and the Gi music video.
I was about to say that.
But you know what's really sad is I'm very close to the people who know him now, and I've been in the room with him plenty of times. So I'm going to stop giving facts there before it seems like I'm talking shit about him.
No, he's a cool dude.
Fair enough.
He's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
They were actually teammates on that World Series of Fighting event. So it's
That's
really
true.
cool to see them grappling against each other.
Now, were you
Yeah.
commentating that one? Okay.
That's sweet.
What were you saying about Kevin K.O. Casey on the call on that particular event? Nice trip. You were right.
So Kevin Casey was actually grappling with this like a younger purple belt, and the guy was just slapping on the collar tie, and Kevin Casey just gave him the stink eye, bro. And everyone was just like, they just got quiet. It was really like it was a really loud like stage, and then everything got quiet. And when we saw that Kevin Casey just gave him the stink eye, I was like, dude, I would just tap out on the mat without him even hitting a submission, bro, just for that stink eye. Because a guy
No,
that
no
huge
problems.
and that strong, whew.
Ooh, what is happening on your side, Alan? I know you're like a heartbeat ahead of me, but what are you seeing
tried
in terms
pausing
of
a little.
progression?
It looks like just Checo's trying to work his guard game, and then Casey's just, being solid as a rock, just not really
Yeah.
letting him do anything and just kind of playing the shutdown game.
I mean, the base is so excellent. It is hard to sweep a dude who has that good
Yeah.
of a prominent base. So I do understand the struggle here. I would say of all the matches that we do have in front of us or on this card, I would 100% tell you that this is the only match on the card that I'm afraid, having seen Combat Jiu-Jitsu just an hour and a half ago, that might just have a slap or two somehow find its way in.
Just somewhere in there.
Because
A
it took me a
tasteful
second
slap.
when they got to the ground, and I go, they really haven't slapped each. Oh, that was 2 hours ago. Just gonna forget that. But of all people, this would be the people, and I want to tell this to our audience, which is pay particular attention to the way that Zangief, aka Gabriel Checo, keeps trying to go for that underhook. Like, you could tell a prominent part of his game is that half guard game where he can try and scoop underneath and try and disrupt. But as you mentioned earlier, Alan, you have to be able to disrupt the base. You have to be able to push and pull that kind of person in order to create that movement. If that person's solid like a rock there, it almost favors them because you can almost see them having a better opportunity to pass, as we are kind of in that opportunity with Kevin K.O. Casey flattening him out a little bit here.
Yeah, Casey's definitely like trying to pass and just kind of waiting for his right time, playing that shutdown, doing that I call it Jacare style pass, where you like really sprawl to a hip, and then get to that half guard and just smash through.
And he now has passed. He is in side control. And this will be a great opportunity from Kevin K.O. Casey to work here. You see Zangief triangling the legs, which is usually just like a momentary distraction. Really doesn't do too much to hinder you. But I think the real thing that you're probably going to see in a second here is Kevin just put the pressure on. Now, this is an interesting choice when you only have 40 seconds left to work and you can potentially go to overtime. I would think that's probably the opportunity you want to try and get that submission finished, because you don't want to leave it to that very different rule set and skill set that
Let's
some
go
people
for
have.
that buggy choke, bro.
Yes, I will be very surprised if either of these big giant gentlemen pulls off a buggy choke. But what is more likely is Kevin K.O. Casey, he was starting for what looked like a Darce, but maybe thought about going to a guillotine and now has to kind of change things on the fly. And gets back into almost put into a half guard here from Gabriel Checo. So props to him for being able to re-guard so quickly. And it looks like we are going into overtime here, gents.
Nice.
What a day. Good for these two gents. We'll see how it plays on out. That's a Redwood sponsor there by Kevin K.O. Casey. You know, in the original days, Kevin and I were both sponsored by Luda Gear. We love them. Much appreciate to them. So I'm so used to seeing him in that rash guard. It takes me a second conceptually to visualize him in a different color other than yellow.
Yeah, that like yellow orange.
Yeah. And I felt bad because when they were our sponsors, I go, no offense, but Mexicans never look good in orange. It's just, it's not a color that complements us at all. I don't know what to tell you.
You have to go 0 to 100 with it. You know what I mean? You either don't do it or you have to go hard with it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll
Yeah.
do the jumpsuit like I'm in Dumb and Dumber with a full orange if I have to, but otherwise, don't expect to see me in an orange tie anytime soon. Man, and I was right about the strikes because the palm strikes to that elbow were almost in play right there.
Yeah. Looks like Checo's in a good spot though, but he's getting put right back.
I think that from this position, Checo, if he can keep his balance here, I think that he's got a shot to get that all the way out, and he does it right then and there. Well done. Interesting choice to go with the armbar there first by Kevin K.O. Casey. We'll see what happens for one. Gabriel Checo, who's going to return in kind. It's very rare, kids, you see the back-to-back spider web position.
Last time Casey was in submission underground, I think he tapped Boogeyman with an armbar from the spider web, but then on the rebuttal, Boogie got like a 5-second armbar, and so he won the match.
And I mean, Boogie's a monster, dude. So I don't blame him for just trying to go for that thing, and especially when they get those bicep slicers. Woo!
Yeah, well, those are real.
I have told our guys, I say, listen, those bicep slicers that they do seem like they're easy, but that's just because it's them.
It hurts so much too.
The long legs and flexibility definitely helps to get that the right way.
So it looks like there's a press conference that's happening between these two gents as they almost discuss how the positions work all entirely over again. Another spider web position here, everybody. I have to say, I do think that this is actually a pretty compelling case for overtime between the two of them. If we don't see, what would be considered the most exciting action in the round, I feel like this is a pretty compelling way to see these two compete.
Yeah, the OTs
Kevin?
are awesome.
You know what? You say that. I don't love OT, other than the fact that we got to be somewhere, and that functionally we have to go forward. Nice job that by Kevin K.O. Casey. What I
just
do
like it as a way to decide a match,
but that's what we're both talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess in submission underground, the ref kind of gets in there sometimes and does play a part, but generally, if you have like a good ref, and even the sub ref improves, a little bit each show, you should have it's a nice rule set where it's kind of based on just the grapplers.
Here's what I'll tell you. And I feel like that's a very nice diplomatic answer by you, by the way. What I would say to you is this. is that
Mr. President.
I think that the big benefit of doing the overtime as a rule set does have implications that shape up your jiu-jitsu. So I think that doing it actually makes you clean up elements that are supposed to be basics and fundamentals of your jiu-jitsu that sometimes people just bypass, where you go, well,
100%.
Now that you have this back, maybe when you get into that position in regulation, you know what to do with it a little bit better. So for that, all in, no problem.
Yeah.
The issue that I have is when people use it as a form of boasting in terms of saying, like, I beat that guy. And I'm like, well, actually, you beat him in overtime.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, well, they'll be like, I got, 4 submissions, but like 2 of them were an OT. And it's like,
I had one person try and correct me on air where they go, I submitted that guy. And I go, how do I do this? You did. But you also submitted them in overtime. They're like, yeah, in overtime I submitted them. I was like, see, you didn't say that. You know that there's marketing value in saying I submitted the dude, but you didn't say how you submitted them. So I feel like, to me, I like it as a means, like, we all got to be somewhere. R.I.P. Denny Prokopos. Don't mean to be upsetting to you, but, like, that was when it happened, was after that event. We said, we got to go. We got to be able to make this thing happen and make it where it can be entertaining to audiences. So I like it for we need to go home. I don't like it for people ever trying to boast like it proves you're better at jiu-jitsu. It's like, no, you're better at this very interesting rule set.
Specific.
Yes, this very specific rule set that we functionally need to do in order to go home.
That's fair. But I always feel like, when you're gonna do a tournament as an athlete, you should know and understand the rules and that goes into it. Where if you win with that rule set,
Nice,
that's how
Kevin.
you won. And so, but
I would tell you this. I have worked with
Bar.
people who had no idea what EBI overtime is. Like people who I go, hey, you're doing that tournament. It's got EBI overtime, and they go, what now? And I go, have you ever done that? No.
Yeah, it's a whole thing to explain it too.
Yeah, we're gonna need to like budget out some time, and we're gonna go over this. And I've seen them make miraculous improvements within a short amount of time, which improve their overall game. So I've seen it happen in front of my own eyes with a number of different people, and I still think practicing it is huge. Which is why even when I run rounds with them, I'll hop in and I go, I fucking hate this. And they go, yeah, and I go, I hate it, but I need to do it. And I feel like there are things that
evil.
Yeah, and I feel like there are things that I do that help them. That I go, oh, you know what? I might actually be a help because sometimes I'm hard to submit. So I should use that for your gain for my dumb things that I'm good at so that you can use that against somebody else that may help you there. And I can't promise you it will, but at the least I can explain it to you. So that's usually my thing. But my favorite is one of the guys who I helped, he gets an armbar on me in the overtime kind of rule set. And then afterwards, I go over to him, and he's like, all like smiling at me. He's like, "Look at that, I got you." And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And then he goes again. I go, "Okay, go right ahead." And he goes, "You got out in 3 seconds." I was like, "Yeah, now you're ready for the new stuff." And he goes, "Fuck." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done teaching you that. Now we're gonna go to you just advanced the level, so now I can't be as nice." And he was like, "Fuck, oh no." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not even good at this shit, so don't be happy. It's
you
just
go
me."
up one level in Mortal Kombat. You're at that,
exactly.
That next stage.
That best look at his face when he looked at me like, wait, you know how to do more? And I go, yeah, dude, I just taught you the functional get out of this shit. Now I've got to do other tricks. But I will say the one thing that is very interesting, and congratulations to Kevin K.O. Casey for his win over here. But I would say there is the art to it, which is a testament to somebody like, I think like a Keith Krikorian. Like very early on, I remember telling him, I was like, I think you're the best at OT I've seen. And he was like, oh, yeah, you really think so? And I was like, I legitimately think. And I told him this ages ago because I said, there's something that you do that I'm not even sure you fully can put into words at that time. Now he can. But it was like, you just have a good instinct for it. And you fight hard. You've got good heart, but you seem to work it systematically in a way that very few people or the highest practitioners do well. And of course, now he's releasing instructionals. Just a good kid all around. Very happy to see that happen for him.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, this next match is going to be very interesting. Brent, I know that you want to call him Primus. I've made that mistake, and I made that to him, by the way, in an interview, where I said, hello, it's Brent Primus. And then at the very end of the interview, I was like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you want to tell us where you can reach you? And he goes, yeah, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me at Brent Primus. And I go, no. No, have I been saying it wrong the whole time, Brent? And he was like, yeah, you have, man, but it's cool. Everybody fucks it up. And I go, well, I don't want to be everybody.
Primus sounds so strong, though. Like prime, like you're in your prime.
Primus sounds like he's British. And I'm not going to fight him on how the way you're supposed to say your own name. But at the very end, when he's just
ground,
like,
Ref.
well, when he just told me, he was like, my name's Brent Primus. And I go, is it though? Because, it's a little bit like, do you need a spotted team? It's like, ooh, it's Brent Primus, everybody. Look at him. He's over here.
It's like Kyle Babe, even though it's spelled Boehm. And I'm like, is it really though?
I mean, Kyle's name is functionally not okay. Like, whatever happened to that last part of his name, I just look at him, and I think the first time he said it to me, he goes, yeah, it's pronounced Bame, and I go, prove it. And I just thought to myself, you know what, dude, that's not how real people are going to say it. I go, if I ever get it wrong, I'm not apologizing. And, no, that's just what happens. I tell him, I'm like, listen, guys, there are some names that are funny. You can tell me what you want me to say it as, but here in America, I speak American. So there's that. All right, next two matches. Brent Primus versus Craig Jones. Is there a possibility, Alan, that Craig Jones can be beaten by Brent, who is probably the underdog in this situation?
I mean, there's a chance, but I mean, Brent Primus he's definitely really good. He beat Jake Shields, so he's definitely familiar and really good at this rule set. But Craig Jones is, I mean, it's tough to bet against Craig Jones, really.
G baby, do you feel
matches.
the same way, or do you feel that this is Craig's show?
I think it's Craig's show, especially he just came out of Puerto Rico, bro. So that's like a 10 plus
Oh god.
on his attributes, bro. It's
Yes,
in
of
our
course.
it's in our air, bro.
Oh man, Craig is wasting no time trying to get it up to the top. He pulls guard and now is finding himself on top on Primus, which I think might actually be problematic. Brent has a very nice all-around game, and we want to say what's up to Anthony Arnold. What's up, everyone? Big dog Alan. So I like that Alan comes in with fans of his own at this
Tony?
point.
That's my dude, Tony. He's one of my main training partners. That dude's a beast. Watch out for him. He's gonna make some waves. Anthony Arnold.
I've seen him compete a little bit. He was very active on, I think, one of our days. I think it might have been our Sin City submissions. He was very active that day. Became a huge fan of his when he was commentating and watching along with us. What is happening, though, with Craig Jones? It looks like he is closing in on what looked like, great setup there. And Brent now just trying to make him pay. Craig very quickly angles off of the cage, which I have to say is probably the smartest thing I've seen Craig Jones do in his life. And that's to say he's usually... Yes, absolutely. No, you're fine. I like that detail, sir. You're not wrong to give props to these two guys for putting out a lot of action within a short amount of time. G-Baby, what were you going to say?
I rolled with Craig Jones once, and he makes me feel like a baby cub playing with like its father, like lion.
You know, Craig and I have not had the honors to roll yet, and I can only imagine... Because the misconception, or I guess the thing is, of course, he's aloof. He's a goofy, fun guy. But I have been told by many different people that his goal when he's rolling with you is to catch you with things that make you look dumb.
Yeah.
And I feel like for my business, that's actually really bad for me. I feel like me getting caught with that and somebody having a camera on hand could make me a meme that would not go well. And I fully understand and embrace internet culture to the point where I go, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what's happening.
Oh,
that was sick.
Oh, but he gets out. Oh, but he's on the leg.
Wow. Craig making a beautiful transition. This is where the Craig Jones that we know and love attacks well. He has triangled the legs so well. And Brent understands he is in danger. He's trying to cup his own leg to see if he can, I guess, kind of like prolong what this attack is from Craig. But Craig has a number of different opportunities here that he can take at this point.
Yeah.
Oof. And you know what? I think something that is fun about these excursions into competition, even though Chael is obviously the head honcho of this thing, it is quite enjoyable to hear him try to explain certain types of leg locks where I go, that's not what that is, but thank you, Chael.
Oh, is that it? That looks like
Craig is on the back right now, and I think you were signaling if that could be it. And Craig,
not yet.
I mean, Craig is definitely narrowing down the amount of attack time that Brent is able to put in here, but that looks like a real nasty
I think
choke.
he's got him.
Yeah, I
He
think
just keeps going. That should be it.
And Brent is not really hand fighting here at all. Like, they are stuck in position.
Oh. Yep, he's readjusting.
Nope, tap.
And he got him.
Well done. Dane Donovan asked, is that deep? Yes. Just wow. Is the next answer from him. You know, I'd like, what am I going to say? No? I was like, no, it's not that deep. He's just a fucking bitch. Brent Primus, that'll teach you. No.
Just stand up, bro.
Wait, hold on. I think I have the right way that you're supposed to escape, and everybody knows it now. But listen, there's only to escape these things. Clearly, if you look at what I did here, you'll fully understand how to get out of it. Look at this flawless technique here. You go once against the mat, Twice against the mat. Does not work. Stone Cold Stun your way out of rear naked choke. Bam.
I mean, they have the cage right there, you know.
Listen, Alan, you're the black belt here. I'm not trying to put myself over. I just happen to be correct in all instances in this.
Yeah, no, I see nothing wrong with that escape.
You know what's really sad is you don't know this, but you just became part of the clip that I will put up that puts that over. Without question. That's going to be the clip that's just going to get replayed over and over again. Is be like, I see nothing wrong with that. Rafa Esparza indoors. Grappling Hour logo at the end of it. But I will say this. So I've been toying with this as an idea. Unfortunately, because this year, you know, right at the beginning of the pandemic, we normally have a WWE BJJ week where we do a whole bunch of nonsense. I'm not going to say this is an actuality, but I've been toying with the idea, because I am still the champ of WWE BJJ, that there is a possibility I may do a title defense once every month in the year 2021. I think that is the fair way to do it. I think that we have some people who have been messaging me like they want to match with me. And I say, do you want to roll with me? Because you'd beat me there. And they go, no, Raph, I want you in the WWE BJJ format. And I go, oh, you'll never beat me. Like, never. So.
What's the difference?
Well, young man, the difference is that pro wrestling moves are involved. And
of course.
For some of these guys, they don't really have the acumen that I do in pro wrestling. But more than that, like, let's say I'm rolling with Craig Jones, I'm going to use a steel chair against him, and that's kosher. So
for sure.
Also, these are 24/7 title defenses. So
can you use like one of those baseball bats with the barbed wire around?
I would prefer that you didn't, but yeah, I guess that's a little bit. Yeah,
one of those guys. He did that, right? Like, is it Mick Foley or something like that?
Mick Foley is one of them. Foley. Joseph Goodman just says that's more title defenses than Brock did when he was Raw champ. Thank you. Finally, somebody appreciates the efforts that I do to put people over. No, you know what it is I've told people, I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be anything goes, 24/7 rule set. You're supposed to be able to do it. And we always come up with really absurd things and fun ways to integrate it, because I just go, man, people were so depressed. And I had people during the pandemic still messaging me going into the weeks where we were beginning of the 2-week lockdown, where everybody was locked down. And they go, hey, Raph, do you still want me to send you videos? And I was like, please don't. And I go, please don't, for a number of reasons. Most importantly, people will know where the gyms are. And if you do it at your house, it's just not the same. It just seems like that's dumb. It said, I just watched a Chris Benoit documentary. I guess the guy had CTE really bad. Yeah, Chris Benoit is not exactly the happiest pro wrestling tale.
That's what ruined wrestling for me. I was like a really big fan when I was a little kid, and Chris Benoit was my favorite wrestler. And then he had, what happened. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not really into this anymore.
Fair point. But I will say there are many times when I still put people in a crippler crossface for my own entertainment, because I go, because I look at them and I go, listen, this omoplata is essentially a crippler crossface. But it says his finishing move was a headbutt from the top turnbuckle, a lot of head trauma. Yes, you are saying very accurate and sad things here. Ryan Bader, though, still trying to make this guillotine, or at least this front headlock, work. Now, this is, if I'm being honest, Anthony Johnson versus Ryan Bader doesn't necessarily slip off the tongue in a way that says, ooh, I got to see that grappling match.
You're not wrong.
But here we are.
Yeah, we're watching it.
But what I can't appreciate... Go ahead, Alan.
I'm kind of curious.
The reason why is because not in the sense that you think, oh, wow, I wonder how this will play out. I think you know how it'll play out. I think we're all just happy to see MMA guys coming to play around in our sport and our side. And that is actually something that we very much like.
Yeah, it'll help like that crossover where, that's like this show is, people, I'm sure there's people that are on UFC Fight Pass that they don't even do jiu-jitsu that are watching it.
Yeah, they watch. Well, here's the good news. If you guys are just watching Fight Pass for the very first time, I wouldn't call this 100% jiu-jitsu, but, you know, I mean, like, come do it. It's fun. And if this is the entry level that gets you in, we'll take it. It worked for G-Baby. Might work for you, too. Let's look at this. It says, we all know Ryan Bader is going to win. Okay, sure, but don't ruin our parade here, Dane Donovan. Now, here's the issue that I want to bring up that I need to fact check. But Joseph Goodman has an accusation that I don't feel good about saying without asking for some kind of truth verification, but here's the note. It says, I think I crippler cross-faced G-Baby before.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
That's brutal. That
But I seen him do it.
Would have hurt so bad.
Isn't that like Daniel Bryan's moveset too? Is the flying headbutt and the omoplata?
It's kind of in that vein, but I think they decided to probably give him an omoplata because at the time he was training jiu-jitsu out in I think it was Portland or Oregon or something like that.
Couture in Las Vegas.
Was it there? I thought that because he lived up that way for a bit, but I know I saw a clip of him training out in Vegas before. But yes, I think they wanted to differentiate a little bit. As I think somebody told me, because when I started as 10th Planet out here in Burbank, they said, Raph, if you do a crippler crossface to people, you might not have friends to train with anymore. And I think that was probably the best advice. And, you know, unfortunate to them, now people celebrate me for doing it. So I guess the joke's on them.
There's a move called a choco plata where you could just like from the omoplata, same thing, but less forehead, more under the chin.
Yep.
And it's slightly more friendly. It's still pretty brutal, but it's a little bit friendlier.
Our definitions of friendly are very not in the same diagram. But sure, I would just tell you, Alan, that when the time comes around, we'll be expecting you to put on a good contribution to our next celebration in that next month. So already start thinking of your moveset, sir.
I'm already afraid to be your friend, Alan.
I mean, Joseph Goodman carries my exact mentality on this. He says, I have openly admitted that I will try to land as many wrestling moves that are legal. And that's the dumbest part of that sentence to me, in that I know, Rumble Johnson is probably in trouble here. That does not look good. Ryan Bader, it might be able to finish this straight arm. They are close to the edge of the cage here, but he can straighten that out and make that problematic. I do think I see it, at least in thinking about a tap. It is going really far away from his body, whereas normally you are the weakest. Rumble is trying to create a little bit of distance here, and it looks like Bader might now settle into, it looked like for a second he was thinking about a Kimura, but props to Rumble Johnson for being able to get out of that. Yes, to come back to what you were saying, Joseph, my brain doesn't work super good for jiu-jitsu moves, but I would tell you this, whenever people ask, how do you incorporate one of those moves into our jiu-jitsu setting, I say, I know exactly how to do it. Like, nobody's afraid of that, but I'm like, there's a single leg Boston crab here. And they go, how'd you think of that? I go, I know how to do it. I was like, that's it. That's what you do.
I've seen Joe land a Boston crab.
Good for you, Joe.
There's like there's a scissor choke too. You know what I'm talking about? Where like it's like you can have your legs just kind of like extended over someone's neck, and that's like a pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just feel glad to know. I just feel glad to know that Alan has also put thought into this, because it shows that it's a truly legitimate aspect to the game.
Some things are.
So, Alan, you are kind of breaking up a little bit right now. Do you want to exit and re-enter the room real quick, just so we can get your phone back on? Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I see you moving.
Am I back? Should I not have to get out?
I think you're actually good again.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I don't want to have to kick you out if I don't need to, honestly. So this works for us. That is the worst part of doing this. Whenever the stream starts to cut out and I have to kick you out, I always feel bad. I always go like, you get out of here.
Get out of here.
I take no offense. I'll just, you just got to get back in.
You're good kid here. Hey, Rumble Johnson has lasted longer than I thought he would in overtime.
He's doing great for a welterweight.
It's so crazy to think about.
For real.
I mean, this I don't feel great about with Bader taking the arm.
Ugh.
This feels like something that you see someone playing EBI overtime with a child in the child's class, and you go, I don't think this is accurate. I don't think we should be doing this.
Yeah. You'd think he'd go for the back because I feel like Rumble Johnson's lost by rear naked choke like a good amount of times in MMA.
I don't think you're wrong, but wow, that was the weirdest escape that I think I've ever seen from the spider position. But you know what, dude? That's one more escape than I have in my realm, so I'm not going to shit too much on it, and it is a high-level opponent. But it does beg the question, did they go up to Ryan Bader and say, hey, you know, don't throw the match, but, like, just make it entertaining, dude?
I mean, that Kimura looked like he was trying to finish it, but no. You know, you got to give credit where it's due, too, with Big Dog Rumble.
Are you referring to him by his true long name, which is... Whoa, that's not at all the right
I know. I was just like, I'm going to wait until you guys' reactions
for
this.
No.
Big oof.
Oh, I feel so bad laughing at that, but I'm not wrong. Oh. But, like, he fell back without having the legs over the body and just said, like, oh, too late. Here's the note that we have here, and I don't disagree with this, Joseph. Joseph says, I was excited when they said Kevin Holland was going to be against Rumble before it was Bader. I agree with you, because at least that seemed a little bit more fun. Once they said Bader, I go, Bader actually knows, what he's doing, so...
Yeah.
I don't feel great about that.
Hey, props to Rumble, though, man. Ooh.
He's in on an arm.
Hearing Chael just in the bounce back again, though, is just yelling out. I like Chael trying to build in the drama that doesn't even exist. I think the referee is saying he's out, but however... If you look at the situation, he's not actually out. And I'm like, Chael, I bet you nobody's talking in that cage. Literally everything you're saying is a fabricated lie. Wow. That's, again, escape. You know what, guys? I give up.
Yeah.
Keith Kikorian, you're no longer the best at EBI overtime. It's Anthony Rumble Johnson.
That goes to show that you don't have to learn jiu-jitsu. Just get strong and learn the basics, and you're good.
You know what this is going to do? This is going to do... such irreparable harm to the people who have trusted me to help them with their EBI overtime. And they're going to be like, well, Raph, look at this. That's nothing at all like you said. And I go, you know what? What do I know? I'm wrong.
Well, Rumble did it in the big stage, Raph, so I don't think you have an opinion on this.
That's 100% correct. Rumble did it in the best of times. I do like that the back of Bader's rash guard just says, skill set. Like, what a weird design, like, flaw to have on there. There's not much there. Oh, okay. Hold on.
He's almost got the time. Oh, snap.
I mean, Bader's doing a great job of starting to eclipse it out. It's not quite attacking the wrist 100% here. That might be enough for Rumble to actually get out of if you really think about the positioning of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it hurts, though. It's a little bit of a slicer going on.
It is a slicer, but it's a slicer in like an opposite way that sometimes opens up your arm, where when it does kind of come out, it can pop out very quickly. Like right here, he's essentially free, but I don't think he knows that. If he was able to trap that leg with his two legs, at the very least, there wouldn't be the fulcrum to make the armbar work. So instead... he's going to throw himself back in. And you know what? Again, what do we know? Keith Kikorian, you're no longer the king of EBI overtime. We've got Anthony Rumble Johnson that we can reference. Granted, he didn't win, but didn't he?
OT King, bro.
He won in our hearts.
He did.
He's my jiu-jitsu hero now.
In the future, they're going to come back and reference this thing that we did, and they're going to be like, they were so mean to Anthony Rumble Johnson for no reason.
I just don't want him to call me out, bro.
Well, you know what he's going to do? He's going to look at you and he's going to say, hey, me, you, overtime now. And you're going to go, no, thank you. How did we roll outside of the cage for the first time? That's something you're not supposed to do. Oh my god. Alright, Jail's talking, so we should do this. And it says, I don't know. Well, I'll repeat that one in a second, but it says Rumble gassed? Yeah, that's a fair thing to say. I think that Rumble probably entering the cage might have been gassed, but I won't say anything further than that. And it says, I don't know who has a better fade, Rumble or G-Baby. You know
I
what,
have to go with
G-Baby?
Greg Hardy.
Your fade is pretty money. Your credit to your barber. They did an excellent job.
Freddie Sandoval, man. Former king of the cage middleweight champ.
Oh, no shit. You got somebody who's fought that you get cut your hair?
Yeah. Gotta keep it in the community, man.
You got it real in the... You're for the culture 100%, but you got your own Davison Figueroa that's cutting your hair, man. Good for you.
Thank you. Now I just gotta bleach my hair and wear really snazzy jumpsuits and a cowboy hat.
You and I have bonded over this, but I think that there is nobody, and maybe you could tell me something different here, Alan, but I think the swag on Davis and Figueroa is too high. I think that this dude, it's the amount that he brings to the table is, every time I see it, I think to myself, I will never be at that level, but I think we should all aspire to this when we win and are a beast in the UFC.
He's a scary dude, too.
For real, man.
He looks like every punch and kick he lands just is so heavy.
So I've had some people who aren't buying what he's putting out there. They're saying he might be overrated. Do you see that, or do you care?
I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where time will tell, and people are always going to say things, but I mean, we'll see. Who knows? That last fight was like one of the best fights ever, and it was a draw, right? So they should ideally do a rematch. I think
that's where they're going to go. So let me put this out for everybody to see here. You know what? Maybe for the rest of this interview, I don't even get a photo anymore. Maybe I just put him over me at this point. This, you know what? This should be my Zoom icon. If I'm ever doing a Zoom and it just cuts to me, that should be the photo that people should look at. They'll be like, "Raph, that's not you, is it?" I wish it was.
Just tell them it is.
So here's why I appreciate it. First of all, look that he's got a cowboy hat, but not just any cowboy hat, a bedazzled cowboy hat. Second, look at the fact that all of his clothes look hyper comfortable. Then look at the very orchestrated Gucci bag drop. That it looks like he's also drinking a Modelo, so sponsor. And then the coat. So it's like trying too hard, not trying at all, not giving a damn, but man, it's everything. We go to our next match. He looks like a Mexican pop star. He really does. So this is, I think, are we at the co-main event right now? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And who do we have in this one, sir?
Rafael dos Anjos versus Donald Cerrone.
All right, I can actually... Yeah, I'm glad you guys could piece that together. I'm actually going to take off the swag off the charts for this one. Look at this, though. Donald Cerrone almost coming in what many people would call a ghetto version of a Captain America rash guard.
He's got some 10th Planet shorts on, too. He's got some 10th Planet Austin shorts.
Yeah, he does. Good for him on that one. Meanwhile, Rafael dos Anjos pulls guard, looking to see if he can get a sweep here, going to X guard, which is not something you're especially going to see in MMA. Donald Cerrone's only defense on that one is just to bail out and quickly run, and that is within the first minute. And it says, which 10P shorts is Donald wearing? We took care of that. That is Austin's, because that is part that On It design, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got teammates with the same shorts.
That's awesome. We see a few notes here, and it says, rumor has it John Jones gave G-Baby a bath today. I don't know what that comment means, but we're going to go past it. Thanks, Dane. The other comment we have is, did Condit dress you today too, G-Baby?
How does he know about this, dude?
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, Carlos
Word
Condit
gets around.
he's good people, so we're not going to give him too much. And of course, Dos Anjos, this is very interesting. You don't really see a ton of opportunities for him to grapple these days because he's always fighting. But he's opted to go. If Cerrone's going for the 10th planet Schwartz, Dos Anjos has decided to go for the Valleyest of Vale Tudo Schwartz.
Very true.
Yep.
But here's what I do appreciate about this. So if we're talking about Chael's original vision for this, is that guys who know how to use the cage and utilize the MMA style with a little bit of grappling that gives both worlds a little bit of what we like to see. Because watching the way that Dos Anjos cuts the angle and goes over there, combine that with the way that Donald Cerrone tries to shoot in, like, I think this is kind of what I was hoping for when he originally told us that this was going to be what Submission Underground was. And here we are 19 events later, and we finally are starting to see a little bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've man, how many of those events too were this year? They had
Well, I say
this year
that
was
this
like
is
the most consistent. that they put out
Submission
shows.
Underground 19. 20 of them took place since April.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much. A lot of them, though.
Well,
for
you
sure.
mentioned that, but we're also pretty glad here because they were the first event that we did one of these for. We started doing panels based on the fact that they were the first event back, and we've been doing the one ever since. So we have not missed a Submission Underground. We've not missed... Let me think that true. I don't think we've missed a Combat Jiu-Jitsu, an EBI. We've done every single UFC event. So we've been pretty consistent. So we're ending the year strong. This will be our last Fight Companion of the year, and I'm glad that you guys are joining us for that. I appreciate it.
Thanks
It's
for
a
having me
pleasure,
on,
man.
man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. My producer wife, Kelly, is over on the side going, yay! Because,
A week and a half without one.
well, no, I mean, she doesn't know the schedule yet, but it looks like there's going to be like 2-3 weeks off. So that means she'll actually get to see me for a change. But
Nice.
once
You've
we
been
go
doing
back,
every UFC. That's like every single weekend.
is.
Every Saturday, man.
It is. But I mean, again, it's the idea that if you can't be around people or you're not supposed to be around people, you want to create a community event. And you want to create it so that people can kind of get what it feels like if you were watching this with your friends. You get together to watch these big events because a lot of gyms would have events where you get together and you watch them. Or, you know, hey, for you, you've got people that you know. You'd probably get together with the whole team and watch at a certain place. Not being able to do that is a giant mental waste. So this is a little bit of hope.
Yeah, it sucks. We used to always gather in just like a big crowd for sure and watch like any of these big events. Not so much anymore. If we do, it's like, you know, just a handful.
Well, if you do, no one hears about it. Is usually what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And so that's the issue. And I tell people, like, listen, guys, you know, we're in it for the long haul. We want to try and make it as fun as possible. And we've had a lot of good numbers over the years. We've got, or at least the year, but we've got a lot of people who sent us some really nice notes that they appreciate us doing this, and it's expanded our base. Oh my God, Cerrone looked like he was going to throw a strike down in a kidding manner.
Just a whole
That was pretty
strike.
funny. That's pretty funny. It says Christopher Konstakakis says, I got those shorts. Geo? Or is it J-O? I don't know. But either
the
way,
tiny itty bitty ones. Or the other ones.
the good
Knowing
question.
him, probably the tiny ones.
Thank you for sharing, Christopher. I like that that's like a show and tell moment. So this is awkward to me to watch two prominent MMA stars look and go, is this how this goes? How we do this? I don't really give a fuck. We're just doing this for some money. It's
Can
not
I
me.
punch him? No? Okay.
And you can only imagine Donald Cowboy Cerrone is like, is this the one where we slap each other?
Yeah. I went on the wrong show.
The note here, hey, Donald Cerrone, look at that. You know, I'm going to give some credit over to our good friends with the 10th Planet System out here in LA, because that looks like some prime Patrick Donabidian, a.k.a. also, and somebody I know that trains with Donald Cerrone, one D-Lo, Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez is part of that crew that trains with the guys over at 10th Planet HQ, and I know he trains with Donald Cerrone. I would hope that he would utilize some of that knowledge that I see those guys working in. Holy shit, is Rafael Dos Anjos actually good at overtime? Is that something we just didn't know?
It's like he, got ready for the rule set or something.
Shut up, Alan. I don't need your real analysis here. Don't mock mine. I'm just saying, aren't you? Because look, right here, wouldn't you have your chin over the shoulder at that point? Wouldn't you be a little bit tighter to that person?
Yeah, you'd think so. There's like one of my a black belt. His name's Travis. He showed me some back control one time to our class, and he was always saying, "You want to be nice and tight like a vampire bite, where you're just like right next to their head."
That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah.
I tell people different things for different people. I realize that like one functional thing to tell people doesn't always click. So sometimes I give them a few things that I go, you want to be over their shoulder. You want to hear what they're thinking. You want to be so close that you can whisper something to them. And every single one of them has a different approach. Donald Cerrone was close on the... Oh!
Oh, he says he didn't tap.
Oh, no, not again! God damn it! No!
The referee.
Okay. Is the referee telling him to... No, he's telling him to stand there. Oh... How does he still have this job?
Decision.
Of course
I think he's
gonna
doing
go
a
with
great
his decision.
job.
Shut up, G-Baby.
I think all refs are perfect, and I think he's doing the right thing.
I don't think Donald Cerrone should even accept that.
I mean, if he didn't tap, he probably would have in like another few seconds. That
Oh,
was
no.
hyperextended.
I just want them to have fun out there.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that seems to be the mentality that is really precedent in this. I will point this out. Listen, you know who should be the ref for the next one of these and who really can clean things up? This guy. Let's put him in there. And I want him to wear exactly that outfit.
Has to be that outfit.
Yeah. No outfit, no job.
Oh, Donald Cerrone is not done. Like, nobody told him that he'd only have 5 minutes to grapple, and he's like, can we still keep doing this? I want to just... Come on, man. I'm just going to keep grappling. I mean, you guys have to kick me out at this point.
It's crazy that Rafael Dos Anjos grappled in, like, his last fight wasn't too long ago against Felder.
I was worried about, man. Once they mentioned he was on the card, I thought, are you sure? And then I saw what he was doing, and I go, yeah, I guess that works out. Let's look at it. So Donald does a great job, reverses the position, takes him down. There is... No. That is not a tap.
Yeah. It looked like he was pushing on his leg, trying to, like, move his knee.
And they're going to another angle of it. So let's see here. Yep, he's going to come over, flip. Once he flips over, I mean, that was a good roll.
I can
can
see
understand
how
why
it can
Cerrone
be
felt.
interpreted.
Yeah. I felt like Cerrone felt like it was a tap, and that's why he let it go quickly. Cause
Yeah.
those two, but like, yeah, no.
Okay, maybe this is a
Not
good
gonna do
opportunity to talk about the concept of a Brazilian tap, which is not foreign to us here in the United States. So it is common to go to, say, I don't know, an IBJJF, where sometimes someone will tap, or at least look like they're tapping, and then immediately go to the ref, wah, wah, and then you look at them and you say, all of us saw what we saw.
I was
So-
passing his guard. And I didn't tap.
So Dane
Sounds
Donovan
like
is...
Chael is saying they're going to redo the match right now.
Is that what he just said?
That's what Chael just said, that they're going to do that match again right now. Let's see. If they do. Are they going to do that? He said
Oh, he says he'll redo the match right now.
Never mind.
Okay, I want to tell you
I
guys
guess
this.
Cowboy offered.
I love the fact, because Cowboy wasn't done. That's how you could tell. He was literally picking him up to be like, y'all are going to have to kick me out of this shit. I'm not leaving. They're
do it again.
overriding
I'll do it
Chael. This is great. Fuck this ref. Get him out. Get him out of there right now. And you know what? Chael, this is how you can tell that Chael is outmatched in terms of popularity here, because the people who are involved go, fuck you, we're doing it. And he goes, what's like, I don't have any power here. I'm just the owner. Womp womp. Oh my god. That's, you know what? They should do it. And if they do, I will be the most proud of them I think I have been in some time.
He said that Cowboy offered, but that they can't do it. So I guess next is going to be Mason versus Ishii.
What do you mean you can't do it? You're the guy in charge. Do it.
I don't know. It's just grappling too. Like, just throw them in there and put it on TV. And
how is that going to be any different than it was 10 minutes ago? Other than, yeah, they have to be done. But guess what? Fight Pass has nothing else to put on right now, so they probably would thank you. They'd be like, oh no, we go overtime. Nobody gives a fuck.
They might as well.
All right, let me see if I can tell people. If you guys could tweet at Chael right now, just tell him you're upset. Tell him you would like to see that match. Tell him you would like to see Dos Anjos and Cerrone still go at it, because I'm not convinced, given the propensity of one Donald Cerrone to do whatever the fuck he feels like. His ranch is called BMF Ranch, BT Dubs, and it's very likely that those two will just end up on the practice mats outside and just take care of it themselves. But Joseph Goodman says, it was not a tap, but I understand from the ref angle how he thought it was a tap. Did you also understand what it's like to be incredibly bad at your job and just consistently make mistakes? Comment over.
I think Chris Lee understands.
You think who understands?
Chris Lee.
Shut up. Dane Donovan chimes in and says, people who spend $600 a day on cocaine dress like Figueroa. I'm not saying Fig is on coke. I'm just saying he doesn't dress like a sober person. First of all, I want you to say that to this man's face. Second of all, say it to our faces, because look at the drip on that guy.
So
you don't even get to comment anymore. No more comment for you, Dane Donovan. That's goals. That's, I know a lot of people like to use squad goals. That's a real one. And it says, trust me, I know what it is like to be bad at my job. Joseph, I don't know what you do, and I actually don't want to ask, just in the event you lose that job. I'd like to keep you working there. We have some toasts to catch up on, just because we did promise those who like and share, and this extends to you guys right now. And, oh no. Oh, god damn it. I'm going to yell at my dad. I think my dad screwed up Secret Santa. I would be so pissed at him.
Right now?
Well, here's what he sends me a note. I had his girlfriend on our exchange this year, and I texted him yesterday, and I said, Dad, my Amazon is telling me it is going to send the package to her today. Don't let her open it. Put it over to the side. He texts me today and says, what's weird is we got... Oh, he did do it. Oh, thank God. Is he was saying like, I didn't get your text yesterday. And I thought that was going to be reminiscent of him saying, so she just opened it and we're not going to do opening via Zoom later. No big deal. He did say, he's like, I didn't see it until now, but don't worry. We put it underneath the tree. We'll open it later. Thank God. Got really mad because I was like, Dad, first of all, don't text me now. Second of all, don't fuck that up for us. Third of all, #squad goals. Also, look at Christopher, who says, that is true. Joe is bad at all of his jobs. This is not the kind of support that we endorse here on the show. We have
Albuquerque, man.
We have Ishii and we have Fowler up right now. Does Fowler have the power stash, Alan?
No. Not anymore.
I don't know if that's going to hurt him. A little concerned for him now. Wasn't before. Because that stash was powerful enough to help him win.
I think he shaved it off like shortly after the Vinny match. This is what I thought would happen. I thought he would pull to that Z and bring him close guard, rubber guard, and I'm thinking he's going to end up getting him in a triangle. Yep, just like that.
Wow.
This is what I'm thinking for this match.
Okay. I see you.
He's right to it.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice work
this
there.
position right here. Yeah. This is Mason's.
That's his jam. That's where he likes to go.
This is his jam. Yeah.
Bread and butter.
I mean, he's transitioning into it super well, so I have to give him credit. And Ishii looks very stuck, one might say.
Yeah, he looks to get that foot and like weave it into either his armpit or into his like far leg, and he can attack that. Or now he's got a Kimura, so this is looking tight.
Nice.
And Mason's strong. I know Ishii's a big boy, but Ishii's a strong dude. Or Mason's a strong dude too.
Let's discuss what the size difference is here, because Mason looks like a normal sized person, even though he's not.
Mason's probably like 215, I think, like 215 to 220, that kind of range. And Ishii, if I had to guess, he's like probably in like the 240 range.
Yeah, because you're
So
looking at
WWE
this.
E
cruiserweight.
Oh, Ishii just like flexed out of that Kimura.
I mean, you know, we talked about squad goals earlier, but that's definitely a squad goal for me. Somebody gets you at a Kimura, you just go, no, fuck off. I'm not in the mood. Yeah, I mean, credit to Ishii for coming on top for a split second here, and you see Craig immediately going back to guard. I mean, you know, this is kind of an interesting thing. I wonder if Mason does win this, and again, we don't know the result yet, how long they have to prolong yet another rematch between him and Craig, because it just seems like if Craig continues to win, that it just seems the inevitability. But it's proven to be a pretty good storyline for Submission Underground. In fact, one might argue this was, what, the summer of Mason? So, all of us, I think he told me on the interview, he goes, I know that a lot of people are having shit years, and I get that, but, like, my year's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, he's been killing it.
And I think I told him in the interview, I was like, you're the one person that, like, Life 2020 was A+ for. Everybody else goes 0 out of 5, no stars, would not recommend. And Mason's like, I don't know. I mean, it started rough, but you know, it had some good moments too.
That bad.
I mean, July was pretty good for me, guys. So you know, just saying.
I love his rubber guard, man.
Actually, a promising note from Ishii over here, pushing Mason against the cage, and now you guys are a little bit ahead of me here, so I'm going to ask you, Alan, to give us a little bit of a hint as to what's happening. Wow, he is going right back to that triangle. You are correct. That is definitely robotically programmed in that.
Yeah, he looks like he's locking it up a little bit more now. He kind of had him in the what I call like that diamond spot where his ankles are just crossed. I mean, Ishii's a giant dude, so I'm sure locking a triangle is not easy. He's going to that reverse triangle. If I had to guess, he wants to get that arm across, and once that arm's across, he'll probably lock a triangle or just get this Kimura.
Fascinating. This is very interesting.
But yeah, that cage.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a cage element when you were training over at CTA?
Yeah, at CTA they have the wall mats, and so like when it comes to Submission Underground, right, which is like, you know, Mason's just killing it there. When you're rolling with him, you don't stop when you hit the wall, you know, and definitely those little tactics come in. Like Mason's got a killer rubber guard, so if he puts me in rubber guard, if I can, I'm gonna waddle over to the wall and try to just use it, you know. And same thing, vice versa, you know, like the wall it's in play.
Yeah, I've told a couple of my buddies I only indulge it if they are MMA fighters. Otherwise, I'm very much like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm not wall working with you. That's no point. But I will tell you, and I've talked about this a number of times, but the cheese grater effect of going against that cage never feels pleasant. And you never want to really indulge that sort of a thing unless you really have to. Because I think the first time somebody put me against the cage, I go, why would anybody do this? Like, I have a rash guard on. This isn't even going up against my skin. This feels terrible.
Yeah.
So it looks like Ishii's going to opt for the spiderweb position here.
Oh, wow.
And he's out.
Yeah.
Well, let's be very clear. The first element of concern for Ishii has to be the fact that he just kind of didn't really even know how to sit down into it properly. Like,
I
as he
saw
was
that.
sitting
Almost,
down,
like,
he
broke his
literally
knee.
just... He literally just, like, baby Huey'd on top of Mason. Who you have to think, if you're just sitting there like this, okay, dude, oh, fuck, dude, we haven't even started. Why did you just drop your whole body on me? So this is going to be a smart decision for Mason to attack the back here, but it is very hard to keep that position.
I think he's going to tap him. He's already in on that shoulder grip.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh man.
An inside body triangle here as he fastens it to the outside. Again, a lot of people didn't really believe that Mason would have the ability to beat Craig Jones in the overtime. The assumption was that Craig was going to have better overtime, but that became a huge weapon that not only worked once, but dose for Craig to lose to. So Mason made a big meal out of using his overtime. I have a big credit for him in making that used to his fullest advantage.
Yeah, I've done like hundreds of overtime rounds with Mason, and he's really good at that spot.
Perhaps we
offensive
should
and
discuss
defensive.
this. Did you ever end up getting that camel clutch thing that he does?
Yeah, funny enough, like the second Craig match, or I guess the third Craig match that he had, overall, like the Tuesday before that submission underground, he tapped me with that, and when we were training, and I went home and I like felt like I was like, damn, like I just got tapped to a body triangle. Like, even though it's Mason, I was like, damn, like, you know, you don't want to tap to a body triangle. But my lower back just hurt so bad for like a week plus after that. So it's definitely smart. And then I saw Craig tap to it, and I was like, all right, this is, I don't feel like a little bitch for tapping, you know, it's real.
Now you don't feel so bad.
Well,
Yeah,
I
felt
told
a little
people,
better after that.
you know, I mean, his note to us was the way that he uses the body triangle and the direction that he's putting it into the hips. And I thought, that's such a great note. And you know what was funny? I messaged that to a couple of my buddies who fight in MMA, and I said, hey, I know this isn't pertinent to your interest at all times, but if you're in a fight, this is a really important detail. And they sent me a note back, and they go, And I go, you're fucking kidding me. Like, I know I'm not trying to blow your mind with jiu-jitsu. I'm just trying to make it so that you could probably finish somebody in a fight. So, did they run out of time on that one?
Mason's out. He got 2-3 second escapes.
Oh my god.
Ishii, he's like, I think when he's going in, he's going like wrist deep. He's not really getting that like elbow to elbow that you want to start off with. And then Mason's, he's too good for you to make a mistake like that, you know?
Let me propose something here, not to take away from Ishii. But is his body just not cooperating? I understand there are mechanics you can know better, but I actually think that the size, just him trying to get into spiderweb looks uncomfortable to the point where he's like, okay, go. Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, his arms are like the size of, you know, my head.
So there's a great part of me that thinks like, bro, I do sympathize with you. That is a little unfair.
Yeah.
And it says, oh, look at this. Joseph Goodman chimed in and says, BT Dubs, I think that Chael said they're going to do the Cerrone OT rounds after this again. Because America.
Nice.
That's what we need to do.
Good old Uncle Chael, man.
They're both there. You know, why not?
I mean, where the fuck else are they going to go? They don't have anything else to do. They can fucking come back for 10 minutes. It's fine. I wish that was the case. I wish there was an appeals court that you could go to if you feel like you really needed to settle some shit on this show. Because we've seen some other events that have had some dicey. Listen, we've seen a some time limit only, submission only match.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could have done that. Some time limit. Yeah, we don't know what it is, but there's some time limit to it. I think that's a better way as a promoter to sell it.
We'll figure it out at some point what the time limit's going to be. But
I mean, as a guy who's commentated a number of no time limit only match, sub only matches, I can tell you there have been parts where I've been bored, and if they left it up to me, I would have called him at a certain point, but we all stay there because we all agree to a certain thing. And we go, hey, listen, these two guys want finality. I personally enjoy that because it's a better end to a story rather than...
Yeah.
So we're going to put a bookmark in their chapter because they just went for 5 minutes and we didn't have an end result. Ooh, look at that. He got out, though.
Won already.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing that extra round for.
He could just start, let go, and just take it. He doesn't even need to do anything. Right? He's got like 4 minutes racked up versus I think 10 seconds combined for Ishii.
But looking at this is fairly entertaining because it does remind us maybe we're not that bad at EBI over time. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I definitely looked at that and I go, I'm not good at it, but I'm not that bad.
I feel better.
I mean, and he gets him.
Yeah.
Let's
Damn,
go.
what a flex.
If that is not one of the more absurd cases of my body's too big, I can't do this EBI overtime, I didn't think I'd really see it. But it's definitely pretty awkward to watch as as an audience member. So that's some good news. Well, let's do some cheers. Let's catch up on these things because I did promise some. So first and foremost, let's give a toast over to G-Baby. G-Baby, I'm going to give this toast on over to you. You shared this earlier. You let everybody know that you're on the show here tonight. So I want to say something nice about you. First and foremost, I think you could actually pull off dyed hair. Not me, you. And if that's a goal that you want to make, that's cool. Please do not try and get me and Alan to jump in on that because I don't think it's going to take for either of us. However, that doesn't mean we don't endorse your ideas. Cheers to you. Thank you so much for coming on and being on the panel today. You made it better.
Cheers.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
All right. Adam Woods also shared this a little bit earlier. Adam Woods, listen, bro, I got to appreciate the fact that you, an MMA fan, is coming in, enjoying this event, showing us some love over on the grappling side. You've been doing that all year. I hope that you guys go check out the According to Woods podcast. He is good people. He works hard. He gives you great podcasts. Not as good as me, but, who is? Anyway, cheers to you, Adam Woods. Much love to you, bro.
Cheers.
All right. Before I do this one for Dane Donovan, I want to tell you guys, if you want to get a cheers, a toast, all you have to do is like and share, and we've only got a few minutes left. Maybe. If they end up doing the overtime, we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, right.
And it said over here, before we go to it, it says, Joseph, as your friend G-Baby, I will shave your head if you dye your hair blonde. I don't know that that's true squad goals for friendship, but, it could be. Anyway, Dane Donovan, listen, I don't judge you because you're wrong about how you believe about Davis and Figueroa. However, the fact that you don't understand the true drip that man exudes, the fact that he is leading style right now. You talk about style bender having great style. No. It's all about the Davis and Figueroa. Hey, cheers to that. Appreciate you for coming in and joining us. And thank you so much for your support on the show. Cheers to you, sir. So what is happening? I hear on the background that Chael is saying he's waiting for...
I think they are doing that OT. I think I heard him say that.
So Chael is stalling right now to let them keep going, right?
I think so. I think they're gonna have that that Cowboy RDA OT redo.
You know what? They should just redo the match. Fuck it.
Might as well, but the OT will help them just get out of there.
You're right. That is actually an actual good observation. I like that you're like, Rap, we saw the match. We're good. Let's just do the OT. And it says, Fig may be on synthetic weed. Listen, I don't know what your deal is against drugs right now, but this is actually the least friendly panel I could have put together for people going like, I think drugs are bad, Raf. Okay.
And we're here like, why, dude?
Chill says he doesn't know if it'll happen, but they're heading back to the cage. What are they going to do? A press conference? What do you mean? What the other reason that they're going to go back to the cage is for?
He's literally the boss.
So for them to have this as an actual possibility, I know that Chill is a huge proponent of pro wrestling. It would seem the pro wrestling thing to do is there's always money in the rematch. My thing is, it seemed like it was already a series of coincidences that brought them to the cage that made them do it here today. So they might as well make it happen since they're both here and they both want to do it.
Might as well, yeah. Good on Cowboy too, because since he won, he could have just taken it home, but he was like, you know what, let's do it again. You know.
I mean, seriously, I still feel like even if he ends up losing, he's gonna be like, all right, so that was best 2 out of 3, right? And they end up doing it all over again. Look at that. Dos Anjos is even, like, they're giggling. Like, to them, this is being like schoolgirls. They're enjoying it. Oh my god, they just got a notification. I got a notification on my thing that just says, Sug, take 2, overtime, Cowboy and RDA.
That's funny.
That's amazing.
Oh, damn.
Yes, you know what? At this point, the referee is the least knowledgeable person on how this is supposed to work. You guys just make it up yourselves.
Just go, just do it.
Just do what you think feels right. Holy fuck. Oh, shit. Wow, Cowboy. Well done. Hearing Chill also try to pump it up, I'm being like, how much energy can you have left? I think since they got to go have a little bit of a rest period, they're okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like Cowboy's about to get this right now.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He get it?
He got him.
He got it.
He got him.
Finally. This is for real this time.
That one counts.
Yeah.
No need to do the best 2 out of 3.
I mean, hey, listen, dude. Cowboy really made the best use out of his time here tonight. And RDA is going to go home knowing that he got a second shot to actually get an opportunity here. But, I mean, the Cowboy's arm bars have been solid. We've seen him do it within the cage in the UFC as well. So this isn't necessarily a huge surprise. But I would say this. We got what we asked for here. That's pretty
awesome.
dope. And those guys are probably going to go have all the beers outside of this silo that they have right now. This is one of, you know what? But again, this should be your main event. I guess it kind of worked out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It kind of ended up being the main event.
I mean, Mason may have issue with me when I see him after he watches this and being like, "Hey, bro, I'm the main event." I'm like, do you have as many fights as Donald Cerrone? I'm just asking here, bro. That's, believe what you need to believe.
Just a
It's
question.
perfectly fine. Hey, listen, I'm just asking questions, okay? We're just all here asking questions and having a good time. Donald Cerrone, though, has the youth and enthusiasm of a child that we have not seen out of him in ages. So that is quite nice to see, man.
I actually want to see Mason on your show again with like a feathered robe like Ric Flair, just saying how much he's the main event.
Oh God! Like Mason as it is already tries to cut heel promos on me, and then he instantly recognizes that I'm better at it. He goes, "Yeah, you're pretty good at this. Like, you're pretty good at being able to cut promos." I was like, "I'm a worse person than you." That's really the requirement that you need. You try to be a good person, and I just say, I don't need that. Okay, great. Well, gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We are going to round third on this. I'm going to start with you, Alan. I'm going to remind people where it is that they can find you. So go ahead and plug. You can plug your gym. If you got sponsors, plug them. Do whatever it is you need to do, sir. I want to make sure that you have the time to get your shine in, and that is going to you right this second. Go, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on. You can find me on Instagram at Alan Sanchez 10P, and my team is 10 Planet San Mateo. So if you're in the Bay Area, and my sponsor is Knox Gear. They have like 60% off sale. We're going on right now for the holidays. So if you want some good quality, well-priced gear, look at them. And then I also have a rash guard that I designed on Zenko Fightwear that you can find under the 10 Planet San Mateo category if you're interested in buying that. And then any money I make off that just helps me, go places to go compete.
Yo, hold up. I didn't know you designed something.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't know, I have a degree in illustration, so I'm
I
like,
did know that,
I've
but
been
I didn't know
drawing
you
my
were
whole life.
hawking. I didn't know you were hawking merch. Where did you say you could find it at?
That's on Zenko Fightwear. So
Okay.
yeah, we have a bunch of gear from our gym, and I designed something on there.
Good on you. All right, G baby, go ahead and plug your shit now.
You can find me on Instagram at G_baby is not funny on Instagram, and you can actually support me using the code Cover Your Mouth on my sponsor, Dark Haven Studio. That is code Cover Your Mouth for 10% off on any apparel in the shop, and it could really help the gym, which is also the gym and home of 10 Planet Albuquerque, where you can find us.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to go through all this. You didn't really tell me where I could find these things. So, as a result of that, I'm now starting to look in. What is the name of the rash guard that you designed, sir?
It should be called like Alan Sanchez Afro Samurai rash guard, something like that.
That's so sick.
Samurai what?
Afro Samurai Alan Sanchez.
Afro Samurai. Okay, hold on. I see that there is a samurai one, so I'm just looking at it to make sure that people can see this. I saw a regular samurai, but I don't see an afro. Give me a second. Still making my way through.
There should be like a what's it called? Like on the tabs, a section for my gym, 10 Planet San Mateo, and within that little space.
Got it. 1 second here. I'm looking. Academy web stores, 10th Planet San Mateo. Hold on. We're going to make this happen, Alan. Oh, the big red one. Okay, I've seen the big red one before. Okay.
Yep.
Hold on.
That's my sensei.
Look at that. Afro Samurai. Look at this shit. That's pretty dope, dude. All right. I want to make sure that people see where they can go ahead and purchase this. I'm going to go ahead and zoom here. And I'll actually put this together. Well, bam. So, look at this, people. This is how you can tell we're a professional show. Look what I just did. Literally, G-Baby, get out of the shot. Alan, this is all about you, not us. So let me see if I can do this. 2, 3, look at that. Alan, it's a good reminder. It's a great Christmas gift. You guys can find it. It is at Zenko, Zenko, fightwear.com. And you will find it under the 10th Planet San Mateo. I just love the fact, like, when you say it's an Afro Samurai, you drew that then, yeah?
Yeah, I drew that. I mean, it's like I used a reference from Afro Samurai the anime, but yeah, I drew that and scanned it and put it on the rash card.
That's perfectly dope. Great stuff, man. Well, go find that. We encourage you guys to buy that. And as I said, it is a holiday season, so it is a time for giving. So if you don't want to buy one for yourself, buy one for a friend. Buy one for somebody else. There's plenty of codes that you can get out there that'll help you out. But help this man compete because we want to see him have a big 2021. He is a savage. I've had the pleasure of watching and commentating some of his stuff, and I have to say it is always fun watching him compete. All right. As we get on out of here, I want to do a quick toast to you guys, and then I'm going to close this bitch up. But I want to say thank you guys both for helping us close out what has been 7, 8 months now. I don't even know the exact total of just weekend and doing it. But we show up every week because we love the sport and we love mixed martial arts. We're so happy that you guys join us. We hope that you guys are staying safe, you're staying healthy, and that more importantly, you have a great holiday season. Cheers to both of you gentlemen. I appreciate you coming. It has been a blast. All right, here we go.
Cheers.
If both of you guys don't mind,
Cheers.
stick around. I'll say bye to both of you off air, but I'm going to go close this bitch up. My thanks to both Alan Sanchez and our good friend, the esteemed G-Baby. All right, see you guys in just a moment. All right, here we go, guys. As we mentioned, that is going to do it for us here on the show for Grappling Hour. We still have a lot more content that's going to be coming up. So even though we are done with Fight Companions for the year, here's what we have. Tomorrow, we should be interviewing Chase Hooper that we did a breakdown for. If you haven't seen that breakdown with myself and Mike Frost show, go check it out on the Grappling Hour YouTube channel or on our Instagram. I think you'll like it. I think he does an excellent job of breaking that down. Plus, we'll also have, and that's actually going to be on Verbal Tap, so it's going to be me and Kevin interviewing Chase Hooper. Super excited for that one. Then, later on this week and within the coming weeks, we're also going to do a year-end end cap show. So that's going to be summarizing some of the best moments in all of jiu-jitsu and MMA. We want to do a little bit of an end-year retrospective. We'll bring on another panel for that one, but no longer on the Fight Companions because we are done with that. We want to give love to everybody that has possibly supported us, including you. Thank you so much for being here for the past few months. We've had a blast doing these things. We're going to continue doing them because guess what? People still have to be socially distant. So buy this shirt. Yo, it supports me just like you're going to support Alan. And no offense to him, but like if you can only afford one of them, though, like honestly, like buy it from me. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I gave him shine time, but, like, this is my show. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, buy both, you cheapskates, is really what it comes down to. Anyway, go find this. You can find it pinned in the Facebook. We'll also be plugging it forever and ever. If you don't want to pick it up for yourself, go pick it up for somebody else. I think that's as easy as we do it. Give it love to our sponsors. That means NogiBJJGear.com. Use promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15. DodgyCollective.com. Go give them some love. I cannot tell you how great their artwork is as well. And of course, to our friends over at Manscaped. Use the promo code VerbalTap. You get 20% off. And again, just because the holiday season, don't get, don't ignore, buzz up, look good, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. It has been a pleasure talking with you guys today for both Combat Jiu-Jitsu and for Submission Underground 19. My name is Rafa Esparza. Thank you so much for an incredible year. We'll see you back on the mats.